It's the morning of the Fulham versus West Ham game. Yet another must-win. Yet another game where Moyes has got one more chance to save his job. It seems that he's had one more chance to save his job throughout the whole season. It seems that every game we play lately, or throughout most of the season, has been a must-win game. And this is just yet another one of those games where, if you believe all the rumours and the gossip, if he doesn't win it, he's out. Do I believe it? I don't know anymore, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what to believe, what not to believe. You get told one thing and then someone counters it and then someone else counters it. And you look at the stories that are going around in the press. Steinberg's written something and various other renowned journalists have written stuff and so on and so forth. And you sort of lose track as to what really is going on. All I want to see, despite all the gossip and all the noise, is a West Ham performance, and a performance that I can walk away from the Fulham ground saying we did our best. And if we get the 3 points, then massive bonus as well. I want to see that. I always want to see West Ham United win a game. I never want them to lose. And I know what people are saying. Some people have actually said, I'd be happy for us to lose just to get rid of Moyes. And I get that rhetoric. I get that sort of talk. But my team is a team that I love, and I can never imagine wanting a West Ham United team to lose a game so that we can get rid of a manager. I want to see us actually put in a performance that we're going to be proud of. And most importantly, I want us to have 3 points on the board and let the season work itself out, get ourselves to the end of this season and worry about who may or may not be in charge of the club next season when the time comes. Does it help to have all this talk about who should be, who shouldn't be in charge? Not really. People talk about the players don't listen to all the gossip. Well, they do. Clearly they do. They're all on social media. They all hear what's going on. They get affected by it. They're humans after all. You know, they're going to be affected by what people say, and sometimes it is difficult to not listen to the noise. It's not as easy as people think. But anyway, we're going to this game. We need to get 3 points, and I'd be more than happy if we do. We need to put in a good performance, and if Moyes is true to his word, I'm guessing we're going to see a number of changes in the team, because he talks about only picking players who are in form. Then if you look at the performance that we put in over the last couple of games, then there are probably a couple of players that you would expect that are going to be dropped today. Fabianski, I don't think he's really, he had a decent game against Southampton, but a poor game against Newcastle, probably responsible for 2 of the 5 goals that they scored. Kehrer put in a half-decent performance against Southampton. He was praised for that, and then put in a woeful display against Newcastle. You might expect him to be dropped. Agard was okay against Southampton, but again, didn't look at his best against Newcastle. Would you drop him? And then, of course, we've got the big conundrum in the middle of the park, Thomas Soucek, who has I just think he needs to be taken out of the firing line. I just think that sometimes, I can't remember who it was. It was, we did a show a long time ago where we were talking about old players, and apparently one of the players, could have been Alvin Martin or someone like that, turned around and said, sometimes it's a big relief to actually be taken out of the first team, so you can sort of like rethink and recharge as a player. But when you're constantly thrown into the deep end and you're not playing well, and you're not playing well, and then you've got the fans on your back and makes you play even worse, because you're nervous, it can ruin a player. And as much as I know what a lot of people are saying about Soucek, he's useless, etc., etc., Moyes should actually be kind and just take him out of the firing line for a few games. He did that midway through the season. It kind of helped him in some ways, but I think Moyes brought him back too soon. And maybe now we've got other options. We've got the likes of Lanzini, we've got the likes of Fornals, we've got the likes, if he wants to keep it defensive, then we've got the likes of Flynn Downs, who so far this season I've only really seen play one average game, you know, but otherwise he's been quite a good foil for us. So Moyes has got options to replace Soucek. He's got options to replace Kehrer with Soufal. He's got options to replace Fabianski with Areola, who I don't think really should have been dropped after he got his opportunity. I'd keep a Gerd in, you know, but if he wants to make that change, he's got Bonner as well. And there's no reason. Fulham have had a week off, so they will be fresh for this game. But there's no reason why Moyes can't keep it fresh for us, because he's got a squad. He doesn't have to keep using the same players game in, game out. He can make changes if he wants to, and he can freshen it up if he really wants to. But Moyes always goes for the same old, and this is the concern. And I guess the team news is going to sort of give us a strong indication as to how what the outcome of this game is going to be. Because if he puts in the same team and expects a different performance, or if he tweaks it, I'm expecting him to probably make one change. I'd like him to make more, but I'm expecting him to make one change, and that one change will be Soufal for Kehrer. I don't think he'll drop Fabianski. He won't drop a Gerd. I don't think he'll drop Soucek, you know, but I want him to surprise us, and I want him to put out a fresh team. I want to see something different. I did suggest the other day that perhaps he should be playing Cornet, not because in place of Benny, not because Benny's done anything wrong, but tactically, show something different tactically, and maybe play Cornet today to add some pace to the team. I want Moyes to be brave. I want Moyes to show that he cares about how he's going to set things up. I want him to sort of demonstrate to us that he can actually make tough managerial decisions, and he doesn't always have to stick with the same players. I want to see something different. I want him to do something different, but I fear he won't. And as many people have said, or has been alluded to, if we don't win today, it could be the end of the road for him. If it is, and we bring in someone interim, okay, it is what it is. Might just give us the boost to try and get ourselves out of this problem. We win today, 30 points. Psychologically, you start thinking 30 points. We might only need another maybe 6 or 7 to actually stay up. But with the games that we've got coming up, you do have to ask yourself, where are we going to win? Where are we going to get those other 6 or 7 points? It's going to be tough. I'm going for a win. I'm going for a tight 2-1, and be happy to walk away with a 1-1 or a draw. But if it's a defeat, I guess we'll see what happens from there on in.
Well, good morning. It's game day. Fulham away. Always like Fulham away. It's always a good day out. Friendly atmosphere. We get to sing "Does Your Butler Know You're Here?" and not get warned that we're going to be removed from the stadium like we do at Tottenham and Brighton for stuff that we sing. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the 5-1 drubbing that we got, even after the first 5 minutes, when it was some of the best football I've seen this season. 4 mistakes that cost us, but the bit that really gets me, as you all know, is David Moyes coming out afterwards and having a bit of a pop at the fans. People are saying he didn't, people said he did. I think he just doesn't learn. It's never his fault, is it? It's never his fault. He can't just stand there and go, if things aren't right. I feel for the supporters, and I can understand their frustration, I really can, and I'm going to do everything in my powers to sort it. But anyway, the Newcastle game is behind us. He needs to drop Soucek, not because he's a bad player, a bad person, whatever. It's just not working for him. I was the first one to moan that Fabianski was put in straight away to replace Areola, but to be fair, he pulled off some absolute cracking saves, but he made a mistake, and people need to pay for that. So he needs to be dropped, and Areola needs to be in there. I wouldn't even put Flynn Downs in for Soucek, and I love Flynn Downs. He's one of my favourite players, and he's got real potential. But I would put another attacking midfielder in there. If 4 defenders and Declan Rice can't protect the back, can't protect the goal, with whichever the goalie is in there, then there's something wrong. But let's go out like we did in that first 5 minutes and really attack them. Really go for it. Really give them, give them what for and everything like that. And let's have a performance. That's what I want, a performance. But most importantly, we need those 3 points. Reference David Moyes and getting sacked. I'll tell you now, he is not getting sacked unless he loses in Europe. So until he goes out in Europe, he isn't going to be sacked unless we obviously get another 4-0 drubbing by Fulham, followed by a 5-0 drubbing by Arsenal. Apart from that, he ain't going nowhere. Europe is keeping him alive, keeping him in his post. Anyway, off we go, on the road. It's game day. Let's have some beers. Let's have some good times. More videos to follow. Come on, you Irons.